Today I have to put in 4x8 beams across the top of the cabin so later I can run rafters and install a roof. This lower side of the cabin was difficult to get the beams up, but it was the lower side and much easier than the taller side, which is 2 feet taller. The kitchen will be in the bottom here, my bedroom up top, and in the front here, the living room. So from here, this is my bedroom. If I turn and face out where there will be a window, I can see all the way to the city, which is about a 5-hour round trip drive. I'll be able to look down over the entrance to the cabin and the small loft that's over the door to the cabin. And of course I can see the rest of the homestead. I knew this side would be more difficult, so I put in a few boards to cover the joists and give myself a little bit of room to stand. But I haven't put in bracing much yet, and it's just a little bit wiggly up here. The front posts are 2 feet taller than the rear post, which will create a 312 pitch roof. And then the patio will be covered with a much less of a pitch. Although these beams are green, some of them are more dry than others, and I was thankful this one actually seemed relatively light. But of course, the most difficult one I had to do, which is coming up next, was so much heavier. From here it doesn't look like much, but I'm basically standing on another 4x8 beam, and there's not a lot of integrity to the frame yet, so it wiggles, and it's a little nerve-wracking up there. The nails I'm putting in are simply to tack things in place. I'm ordering large hardware to attach the beams to the top of the posts. The angle was too steep and the beam wanted to slide backward, so I decided to go to the other side and move some scrap material around in hopes of holding the beam in place at the bottom while I lifted the other end up onto the post. As I started to lift this other end of the beam up on top of the post, the beam slid halfway off of that front post, and I knew that it would roll off, and if it did, it could easily go right through the joists, through the floor, and cause a lot of damage. So I decided to set it back down and go move the other end of the beam back centered onto the post. This beam has to easily weigh hundreds of pounds. I'm not exactly sure how much, but it's very heavy. That small piece of beam busted right through the joist. I knew that post, it was the only post of the 20 that kind of curved after I stood it up. That's why there was already a tether on it below. So I knew it was going to be a little out of whack, and now it's perfect, and I'll just let it sit like that. I'll just leave it for several days and it'll dry. It'll start to dry that way and stay that way. And then of course, as I throw on sheeting and everything, it'll hold it square. So those are all 4 by 8 beams, floor, second floor, and the roof to run the rafters across. So I'm all out of wood, and here in about a week and a half, I'm going to get enough wood to the cabin will look finished with the next load of wood I get, but then I'll be putting insulation on the outside and then another layer of wood, but it'll pretty well look finished. The deck will be covered, the walls should be covered once, the roof will probably be covered once, all with that one load. There it is. So I've got all my lumber worked out, and I just got to come up with hardware. So as soon as I can score the hangers, I need to get all the hangers. I need to get some plates for that top, for the rafters where the beam sits on the posts. I need to use hardware to attach that. I need some more nails. And other than that, I'll pretty well... Oh, well, and I got to get insulation, and I got to get like metal roofing or whatever. But other than that, it'll be pretty well finished, aside from all the, you know, the nice final touches. I've been out here almost 5 years, and I make 100% of my income from my homestead. If you'd like to support my cabin build here, go check out my webinar series. It's over 8 hours long, and it's $200 off during the Christmas sale right now. So check that out. Subscribe if you'd like, and I'll catch you on the next video.